When I was 13, my dad thought he could force me into Sunday school forever. He said no to me once, so I found a way to make him pay for the next 20 years. And the best part? He couldn't say a single word about it. If you've ever had a parent or authority figure underestimate you, smash the like button and subscribe. Today's story is one of those rare times when teenage rebellion actually turned into the ultimate long-term revenge. Back in the early 80s, life was different. No internet, no smartphones, and when your dad said something, you did it. At least, that's what my father believed. He was a lifelong churchgoer, St. Paul's Episcopal, a place he had attended since 1933. He raised me and my siblings with the same expectation. Every Sunday, no excuses. Now, picture me, 13 years old, puberty hitting hard, angsty, restless, and every week, forced into a room upstairs for Sunday school. You'd think it would be Bible study. Nope. For me, it was an entire hour of coloring pictures of Jesus with crayons. At 13, I felt humiliated, like I was being treated as a little kid when I was desperate to be taken seriously. Each crayon stroke was like my pride being erased. One Sunday, I decided enough was enough. I asked my dad, "Can I stay with you in the main service instead of going upstairs?" He didn't even consider it. He just said no. Flat. Cold. Like my opinion didn't matter. I tried again. "Dad, I'm too old for this. Please." He didn't just say no. He shooed me away, like I was some fly buzzing around. I remember sitting there during announcements, fuming, my stomach in knots, my fists clenched, thinking, why won't he listen? Why can't he treat me like I'm growing up? That's when I heard something. A simple church announcement that would change everything. "We're looking for ushers. There's a sign-up table in the lobby. This is a lifelong commitment." I froze. A spark lit in my brain. In that moment, everything clicked. If my dad was going to force me into things I didn't want to do, maybe it was time he got a taste of his own medicine. So when the kids were dismissed for Sunday school, I walked out, but not upstairs. I walked straight to that sign-up table, pen in hand, my heart pounding, my palms sweating. I looked over my shoulder. Dad wasn't watching. Perfect. I leaned down and signed a sheet, but not with my name. With his. My dad's. Same initials. Same last name. And thanks to a few times I'd forged his signature on school notes, I had the confidence to pull it off. With one scribble, I'd change his life. 2 weeks later, the fallout hit. Dad got a letter in the mail. "Congratulations, you've been accepted as a church usher. Your first assignment is on Sunday." When he read it, his face turned red. His jaw locked. He was furious. "What is this? I didn't sign up for this," he muttered. But here's the thing, he couldn't back out. Not without admitting he hadn't volunteered. Not without looking unreliable in a community he'd been part of for decades. He had a reputation to uphold. And so, he did it. He put on that usher's badge, straightened his tie, and started showing people to their seats. 1 week turned into months. Months turned into years. Every third Sunday, without fail, my dad was at St. Paul's ushering, collecting offerings, passing out programs, smiling at parishioners. Not for 1 year, not for 5, not for 10, for 20 years. 20 years of commitment. All because I, a ticked-off 13-year-old with a grudge against crayons, decided to strike back. And here's the kicker, he never could call me out for it. He couldn't admit that his kid had outsmarted him. He just had to swallow it and keep showing up. Sure, he gave me an old-school punishment the day he found out. Let's just say it was the kind of discipline today's kids wouldn't recognize. But even that didn't erase the fact that I had one. Every third Sunday, for 2 decades, I knew. That's because of me. Now, my dad is 92 years old, and every time we talk, he still reminds me of it. Not with anger anymore, but with this mix of exasperation and admiration. "You got me good, son," he'll say. And honestly, looking back, it's kind of poetic. He tried to force me into something I hated. In return, I forced him into something he couldn't escape. Balance restored. The beauty of this revenge isn't just that it worked. It's that it lasted. Most teenage rebellions fade away. Groundings, punishments, curfews, they come and go. But my little act of defiance echoed for 20 years. Every third Sunday, my dad had to get up, put on his jacket, and head to church to serve, all because he didn't let me skip coloring pages when I was 13. And the best part? He could never undo it. That's justice. Sometimes revenge doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be cruel. Sometimes the sweetest payback is subtle, quiet, and inescapable. And if you've ever been underestimated, remember, one clever move can change everything. If this story made you smile, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the cleverest revenge you've ever seen? And of course, subscribe if you want more tales of poetic justice. Until next time, remember, never underestimate a determined teenager.